morning and a warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is English Bulletin with me, Utsabhadrai. The top stories first. Prime Minister Oli defends his decision to dissolve Law House, says the move was constitutional and democratic. Youths demand justice for rape victims, draw attention of the government towards growing incidents of rape and murder. Civil society calls for protecting constitutional system and rule of law, urges the government to stop abusing constitutional bodies. Former US President acquitted yet again. US Senate failed to gather majority required to convict Trump. And Messi scores twice as Barca extend run. Klopp says Liverpool's Premier League title defence is over. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has defended his decision to dissolve the House of Representatives as constitutional and democratic. Addressing NCP's mass assembly held in Butwal yesterday, Prime Minister Oli reiterated that Lower House had to be dissolved due to lack of support from his own party. The decision to dissolve the Lower House of the Federal Parliament was taken as per Article 76, Clause 7 of the Constitution, said Prime Minister Oli. Prime Minister Oli also stated that government achieved landmark success in the last 3 years, and some leaders within NCP were so frightful of the government's achievement that they conspired to overthrow the government. Prime Minister Oli also expressed firm determination to punish the culprits involved in the rape and murder of Nirmala Panta and Bhagirathi Bhatta. In other news, youths on Saturday staged a symbolic protest at Maitighar Mandala in the capital, demanding justice against cases of rape and subsequent murder. The youngsters covered their eyes with black clothes as a sign of protest while demanding the government to make public the culprits involved in rape and murder. They also chanted slogans demanding justice for victims. The demonstrators also staged a sit-in to press for their demand. During the protest, the agitating youths also staged a road show with women wearing white clothes demanding justice for the victims and punishment for the offenders. They went to the extent of damaging the wrongdoers to be hanged until death. Youngsters have started protests in the capital on a daily basis after the government's failure to identify and punish the people involved in rape and murder, especially of young girls in recent days. Meanwhile, the civil society yesterday staged a non-violent protest at Maitighar Mandala against the regressive move of the government. During the protest, the representatives of the civil society chanted slogans saying that they don't want a despotic government. They also demanded the government to stop the abuse of constitutional bodies and to protest the constitutional system and the rule of law by displaying placards during the peaceful protest. The protest was held against the latest moves of KP Sharma Oli-led government, which has courted controversy for dissolving the Law House and making constitutional appointments single-handedly. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 57 new cases of coronavirus across the country. Following the latest round of tests, the total cases of coronavirus in the country have climbed to 272,614, while the number of active cases has dropped to 1,631. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, altogether 268,929 infected persons have recovered from the disease in the country so far. The death toll from coronavirus has remained steady at 2,054 as there were no deaths related to COVID-19 yesterday. Nepal is currently among the top 45 countries that have been most affected by the pandemic. The US tops the list with over 28.19 million confirmed cases, followed by India with 10.9 million cases. Coronavirus has infected more than 109 million people across the world and claimed 2.4 million lives. And now the news from Economic Front. A foundation stone has been laid at Rupandehi for the cable car connecting Butwal to Palpa. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli yesterday laid the foundation stone at Bamghat, Butwal to install cable car that would connect Chiriakhola in Butwal to Basantapur in East Palpa. The length of the Lumbini cable car will be 3 meters. The cable car project is estimated to be worth 3.52 billion rupees. Government of Nepal has already authorized Lumbini Cable Car Private Limited to use the forest area stretched at 3 kilometers between Butwal and Basantapur. Addressing the program, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli said that he expects that the installation would be complete within a year. The cable car project will be complete and come in operation within the prescribed time, assured Vice Chairman of FNCCI Chandra Prasad Thakal. We'll be taking a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international and sports news. Welcome back, and now the international news. Former US President Donald Trump has been acquitted from the charges of incitement to insurrection over the Capitol Hill riot on January last month. The US Senate had failed to muster two-thirds majority required to convict former president in his second impeachment trial. A majority of senators, 57 to 43, including 7 Republicans, voted to convict Mr. Trump. 10 votes short of the 67 required for conviction, BBC reported. In the vote, 7 of the 50 Senate Republicans joined the chamber's unified Democrats in favoring conviction. BBC has cited former President Trump's statement after his acquittal, where he has denounced the trial as the greatest witch hunt in history. The acquittal means former president can run for the office again. Republicans saved Trump in February 5, 2020 last year vote in his first impeachment trial, when only one senator from their ranks, Mitt Romney, voted to convict and remove him from the office, Reuters reported. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Lionel Messi and Francisco Trianco scored twice as Barcelona beat Alves for a 7th consecutive La Liga win. La Liga debutant Trianco opened the scoring with a pass from another newcomer, Ajax Marbella, and Messi doubled the lead from just outside the box, according to the BBC. Trianco scored again after Messi's shot was saved, and then the Argentine netted an excellent 25-yard strike before Junior Firpo's close-range 5th. Messi was making his 505th La Liga appearance, equaling Xavi's club record. Barcelona moved up to second with the victory, although they were 8 points behind leaders Atletico Madrid. In England, Liverpool's manager Jurgen Klopp said after his side's defeat at Leicester and the club's 5th loss in 7 games that their title defence is over. The Reds were 1-0 up with 12 minutes left in the regular time before a succession of errors saw them lose 3-1. They are 4th, 13 points behind leader Manchester City, who have a game in hand. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Prime Minister Oli defends his decision to dissolve Lower House, says the move was constitutional and democratic. Youths demand justice for rape victims, draw attention of the government towards growing incidents of rape and murder. Civil society calls for protecting constitutional system and rule of law, urges the government to stop abusing constitutional bodies. Former US President acquitted yet again. US Senate pulls together majority required to convict Trump. And Messi scores twice as Barca extend a run. Club says Liverpool's Premier League title defence is over. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.